Welcome again, ladies and gentlemen. I want us to talk about the attack of Godfrey Osotsi. And the president must have okayed his attack, and he knows about his tribulations, because if Babu Wino has evidence that it is Raymond Omolo who had hired guns to attack Godfrey Osotsi, and then the president must be knowing that this is happening, and perhaps is the one who okayed for Godfrey Osotsi to face his tribulations. There are reasons why, and without further ado, kindly let's delve into various reasons why President William Ruto wants perhaps to attack the Luhya community. So many things have been happening lately from the past equally, and it shows that right now President William Ruto has turned his guns on the Luhya nation. Now that the Mount Kenya has left, even the broad-based, they know that people from Mount Kenya will never vote for William Ruto the way they did. Of course, he will get his people, he will get a few votes from the vote-rich region, but he will not get the kind of votes he got in 2022 election, and this one everyone knows. So William Ruto has been banking on the Luo nation, and but there is a bitter truth, in Luo nation, those people, they don't vote. In fact, the turnout is almost 60 or no, if not 40. Those people, they don't vote, and he has managed to kick out ODM because he needs those votes. Perhaps he will work out with the turnout later, but he needs the ODM votes. William Ruto has a strategy of really wanting to get the strongholds of the opposition of 2022, whereby Luo Nation was among the strong opposition areas and regions. So he wants to get to grab the Luo Nation votes, and that is what he has done. He has killed the ODM party in the Luo Nyanza. He has made sure that he has brought confusion in the Luo Nyanza. You saw recently where women were backing at Homa Bay Governor Gladys Wanga, saying that they want UDA candidates. It has never happened for the 20 years. Raila Odinga led ODM. That useless, speech never happened, never came from the Luo Nyanza. That shows how much William Ruto has managed to destroy Raila Odinga's legacy, Raila Odinga's wave in the Luo Nyanza, and also he has bought, like Rigathi Gachagua always say, he has bought the party, and now he is done with the Luo nation. And in the western part, the Luhya nation, he knows that whatever influence he had there, it's no more. Whatever influence he had there is no more. And the Luhyas, they have close to according to the statistics of 2022 elections, in the Luhya nation, they have around 2.6 votes. And William Ruto knows now that those votes, right now, so many things are happening, and he might not even get a quarter of the votes. We'll do our analysis slowly too. In a Luhya, we have around we have 5 counties, and these 5 counties, William Ruto has lost touch, has lost his ground in the in the 5 counties. Let's start with the Vhiga, where Osotsi comes from. And I'll tell you the reason why actually Osotsi's tribulations perhaps were there, and William Ruto okayed, because he knows perhaps they planned that they need to threaten and intimidate Godfrey Osotsi to stop the one-term shenanigans. William Ruto, in fact, has no point man in Vhiga. The MPs in UDA there, the Sabatia, the former Sabatia MP, Alfred Agoi, the Lex of Ernest Kagesi, Clement Sia's lawyer, Alfred Kahindi. Those people, in fact, let me call them useless to William Ruto, because they have no touch. Tell me, have you ever heard of this guy called Ken Vitisha, unless you're coming from Vhiga? You haven't heard of that name. They are not people who are vicious enough to source votes for William Ruto. And now that You see, Godfrey Osotsi comes from Vhiga, and is going for the gubernatorial seat, and going for the gubernatorial seat, and is one person who is loved so much in Vhiga, he may take it. And William Ruto doesn't want that, so he wants to intimidate. He's sending Raymond Omolo and some of his machineries to intimidate Osotsi, because he comes from the Luhya nation. In fact, he wants to, disrupt the Luhya nation a little bit, so that he can get some of the votes from that region, as much as they will. The votes in the Luhya nation have been scattered right now. Let's go to Bungoma County. Bungoma County is another county that has gone. William Ruto has nothing there. There is a reason why I can tell you this. Initially, William Ruto banked on Wetangula. Really banged on Wetangula, because he knew perhaps he will get he'll get votes from there. Moses Wetangula was one guy who was really respected by the people of Bungoma. In fact, if you had a hand, if you had a blessing from Moses Wetangula, whatever seat you were looking for, trust me, you could be voted in, because Wetangula had a voice in Bungoma. But right now, things have changed. Given the movement of Sifuna, who comes from Bungoma, Edwin Sifuna. In fact, many people love Edwin. In Bungoma, this was evident when he visited Muhisa Kitui at his home. Many people came around telling Edwin Sifuna to talk to them, to address them. And this one also is giving William Ruto sleepless nights, because if Edwin Sifuna goes for presidency, automatically, Bungoma has gone. Even if Edwin Sifuna does not go for a presidency, if he directs the people, and in fact, when Edwin Sifuna talked with the people of Bungoma, he told them not to vote for anyone allied to Moses Wetangula or the Ford Kenya shenanigans. Unfortunately, the governor of Bungoma is Ken Lusaka, another man I don't know who is facing an axe, because the county assembly MCS today tabled a motion to impeach him, and that is why he went forth to sack all the members of the county executive committee, CECM, and the county attorney. The same day, the impeachment motion was tabled. That shows how the governor has lost his grip in the Bungoma County. And he was elected by Ford Kenya. Therefore, William Ruto cannot really bank on Ken Lusaka to help him. There is only one guy there, at least we can say is much vicious and much vocal, and maybe he can help William Ruto a little bit, and that is Didmas Barasa. But given the UDA, how much people have hated that party, it means perhaps Didmas Barasa, in as much as Didmas Barasa is vocal, it might not help William Ruto. And if we go to another county, let's talk about perhaps Kakamega. Kakamega is the largest of all counties. Kakamega has a lot of number of votes. He has close to 1,844,000 registered voters. That is according to the data of the 2022. Equally in Kakamega, let's say he has no one. He had Cleophas Malala then. Cleophas right now is in DCP. Yeah? He had Musalia Mudavadi. Musalia Mudavadi is useless right now, because even he folded his party. Once you fold your party, you're useless. And then he has he had Boni Halwale. Boni Halwale have since gone away. He doesn't want even anything to do with UDA. You see why William Ruto is so bitter and wants to hit the Luhya nation. He's so bitter. He's targeting the Luhya nation so much. And then we have the Busia County. Busia County is another county of impossibilities. Busia County was a stronghold of ODM. And now that Raila Odinga is dead, anything can happen in Busia County. Those people, they lack a direction. And by the way, when Edwin Sifuna held a rally there, you could see how people were yearning for a change. And these are the things that are giving William Ruto sleepless nights. And that is the reason why he is now targeting people from the leaders, especially from the Luhya community, because he wants to finish the Luhya community the way he did with the Luo Nyanza, so that he can get votes from that position, or rather that region. You see, Boni Halwale was chosen as the leader of the majority. Mudavadi's party is normal. Wetangula is facing, tribulations. They want him to fold his party, Fold Kenya, so that they can join a UDA. That is one thing that can tell you that William Ruto is hellbound, so that he can, finish up with the western part. And remember, William Ruto is another genius when it comes to politics. What he did also, he chased away the permanent secretaries, so many things have been happening. And trust me, William Ruto has a hand in the Edwin Sifuna tribulations in ODM. They want him out of the Secretary General position, because he is the stumbling block of William Ruto of accessing the whole the ODM party from tentacles of opposition. I don't know what you think, but you can share your comments down there. Hit the notification bell, and equally, if you're new here, consider subscribing, liking, and sharing.